Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
A mysterious family and a shocking crime. Why police are trying to figure out what happened between a mother and daughter in this house.
All right, Jason, and political battles brewing on multiple fronts. President Trump makes it clear what he's willing to do to get his Supreme Court nominee confirmed, while his pick for Education Secretary Betsy DeVos now seems to be in jeopardy.
But we need to start with the weather again this afternoon. 4 Live radar showing more snow moving through Metro Detroit, and it's just in time for the evening drive. Good to have you with us here at 5. The snow band started moving in late this afternoon again.
Yep, that they did. Let's get over to Ben right now. This is pretty scattered right now, Ben.
Yeah, Kim and Devin, the radar isn't blanketed like it was yesterday, but that doesn't mean that the visibility is still not going to be an issue. See how dark that some of these shades are within these snow bands, especially out here with these squalls south of Howell, just now moving again into Ann Arbor. You've already had one roll through here, but right along and north of 94, some pretty intense snow falling there. Slightly lighter as you get here within the city of Detroit, and may get a little bit of a mix here downriver. Remember, temperatures almost got near 40 degrees here in the afternoon, but have cooled down quickly. Quick check of our tower cam out here looking over the riverfront. You can see visibility is kind of reduced, but those squalls not all that impressive right now, at least in the city. Tonight, we will see those come to an end. For most of us about 8 o'clock, could see another one in our south zone about 10 o'clock, and we'll see what the snow does for the rest of our forecast coming up here in a few minutes. Guys?
All right, Ben. Our top story tonight, a Shelby Township woman is charged with murder after police say she stabbed her 80-year-old mother to death.
48-year-old Julie Flynn was arraigned on that charge today, and police say she is not cooperating with investigators. Jason Colthorpe is live in Shelby Township tonight. And Jason, what are neighbors saying about it?
Kim, every neighbor I've talked to says pretty much the same thing. These folks really kept to themselves, rarely were outside, always with the shades drawn, and they, like police now, trying to figure out why this happened. It was a 911 call that alerted police something was wrong at this home on Marissa Way.
We knew that we were dealing with a homicide or a suspected homicide.
Neighbors say police actually showed up Sunday evening, left, and then came back Monday morning to make the gruesome discovery that 80-year-old Joyce Flynn had been stabbed to death.
Multiple times. She was stabbed multiple times to her neck.
Police say her daughter, 48-year-old Julie Flynn, was at the home as well, but said nothing to police.
We brought her to the station, and at that point in time, we knew that she was going to be a person of interest.
She was arraigned on first-degree murder charges this morning. The next-door neighbors say they hadn't seen Joyce Flynn in about 4 to 5 years, but had spoken with her on the phone. They say her daughter Julie moved in with her mom and dad a year or two ago, and he died this past November.
They were always very quiet. You never see them coming or going.
Another neighbor agreed they were very reclusive.
So it's really tragic. I know sometimes with elderly parents it can be really, really difficult, so I really feel for the family.
Now, we still don't know who called 911. Police are looking into that. And also, it should be pointed out that the next-door neighbors, when police were here, spoke with detectives, and one of them had said that they weren't sure how long Joyce Flynn's body had been there. They're still looking into that angle of this as well. We're live tonight. Jason Colthorpe, Local 4, Shelby Township.
Yep. Jason, I know you said the neighbors said that this family was, kept to themselves, but do we know anything about the daughter who's being charged?
Very little, but a couple of things. Police don't believe she was caretaker to her mother right now, even though she lived there. They don't think that. And the neighbors also said that one of the detectives let them know that they were looking into the fact that she may have been suffering from mental issues at this point.
A lot of questions to be answered. Okay, Jason, thanks.
News out of Washington not letting up one bit. Let's get you caught up with what is happening on this Wednesday. Confirmation of Betsy DeVos as Education Secretary may be in jeopardy after 2 GOP senators now say they will vote no. Meanwhile, Neil Gorsuch, the president's pick for the Supreme Court, is seemingly going to spark a partisan battle. Today, President Trump said Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell should, quote, go nuclear if he has to get Gorsuch confirmed. Let's bring in Tracy Potts following it all from Washington. Tracy?
Devin, good evening from the U.S. Supreme Court. It's been less than 24 hours and we're already hearing a lot from Democrats and Republicans about President Trump's nominee, Judge Neil Gorsuch. Confirmation hearings still weeks away, but there are concerns not only about his background, but also about the process. Judge Neil Gorsuch, President Trump's Supreme Court nominee, returned to the Senate today, a decade after being unanimously confirmed to the Federal Appeals Court. This time might not be so easy.
He's moving from AAA ball to the big leagues here.
President Obama's nominee never even got a hearing. That's still a sore spot with Democrats.
We've got to recover from it. We've got to go on.
Let's give the man a chance. Talk to him. My goodness, don't shut it down before we even get started.
Republicans vow it will happen.
He will be confirmed one way or the other.
The other being the so-called nuclear option, changing rules, confirming Gorsuch without one Democrat on board. President Trump, meeting with conservative groups today, said that's okay.
That would be an absolute shame if a man of this quality was caught up in the web. So I would say it's up to Mitch, but I would say go for it.
Mitch McConnell, the Senate's top Republican, wants Democrats to back down. Some experts think opposing Gorsuch could backfire.
They should hold their fire for when there's somebody really, really objectionable to them.
The nomination is confirmed.
Despite objections, the Senate confirmed Rex Tillerson today as Secretary of State. And as we monitor things here at the court and across the street at the Capitol, another big development today at the White House. National Security Advisor Mike Flynn announced the U.S. is putting Iran on notice after a missile launch. He did not explain exactly what on notice means. At the U.S. Supreme Court, I'm Tracy Potts, Local 4.
All right, Tracy, earlier this afternoon, President Trump left the White House on Air Force One with his daughter Ivanka for what had been an undisclosed trip. We've learned since that trip was to Dover Air Force Base in Delaware, where he honored the return of the remains of a Navy SEAL killed earlier this week in Yemen.
In Roseville, a man will not be charged after he shot and killed a suspected home invader.
Yeah, this happened Monday at the home on the corner of Chippendale and Marquette. According to the homeowner's wife, her husband heard a commotion outside and went to check out what was happening. The woman said that once outside, her husband was confronted by an intruder who claimed he had a weapon, and that's when shots were fired. Again, the Macomb County Prosecutor's Office is not pressing charges. Search for answers continues this afternoon after a woman was found stabbed in southwest Detroit. Around 4 o'clock this morning, police found a woman who'd been stabbed in the chest in the 2400 block of Junction near Livernois. She was between the ages of 30 and 40 years old but had no ID on her, and the woman was pronounced dead at the hospital. So police are still trying to figure out her identity.
Well, these are live pictures right now from Fraser tonight, where work has been going around the clock to fix that massive sewer line that collapsed. It's been 5 weeks now, and there's a very long and expensive way still to go. And here's the key. The 600,000 people who use that sewer line will all be footing the bill. Let's get to Rod Maloney live. And Rod, what have you learned about these rate increases?
Well, Kim, it's not so much that the rates are going up. Everybody's expecting that. It's the length of time that those rates are going to go up. And can you believe it? They're talking 25 years after they break out the credit card. The first day of the month means bill paying day for Sandy Butler of Clinton Township.
As bills change so much, I don't know exactly what we'll be paying every month.
A retiree on a fixed income, she's been here for all 3 now of the infamous sewer line breaks. She's cut back on water use per the request, feels bad for her neighbors who are closer to the 15-mile sewer interceptor collapse about their crushed property values, and says it's been a major inconvenience out here for everyone.
I mean, the smell around here sometimes is horrific. And it's just scary. You know, I think about our drinking water. I think about the people in Flint.
She's buying bottled water as a result, and now looks at her near $100 a month water bill and wonders.
My bill is high enough right now, and I have no idea how much it's going to go up. I mean, you know, we pay our taxes, and, you know, it's just frustrating.
Here are the estimated costs for Macomb County. Total repair estimated at $150 million, which should push bills up 8 to 9%, believe it or not, for the next generation. The estimated increased real costs, they say $40 a year.
We're here, and what are we going to do? We're kind of stuck.
Indeed, they are kind of stuck, and so now the question is, what do you do? How do you manage this? Well, they're talking about splitting the construction in 2. They've already let out the first $75 million. In other words, they're taking bids on the first $75 million in construction, and they'll try and figure out what they're going to do with the other 75. But think about this. 25 years at $40 a year per, probably with inflation thrown in there. This is ugly, no matter how you slice it. Back to you.
Yeah, 25 years, a long time, Rod. There had been some talk amongst community leaders. They don't like saying Fraser sewer line collapse because it affects a lot more communities. Talk a little bit about that. It's more than Fraser.
Yeah, it's 11 communities in all here, Clinton Township, and you can name the whole group here. And that's part of what matters in this, in that those communities have their own individual billing as well as the overarching billing. So chances are that $40 is a lowball number.
My goodness, and 25 years, a long time too. Rod, we appreciate it. Well, in just 3 years, the M1 rail project has gone from a computer rendering to reality.
I got my first look at it. I was walking around downtown, and there it went by, and I wasn't expecting. It was kind of thrilling at the moment. Today, the rail cars were being tested out. 1,000 tests, though, need to be done before the Q line is operational. When it's completed, of course, the trains will run along Woodward from downtown, Midtown up to the New Center area. But it was pretty cool to watch it moving along, and there it is.
There it is.
Now we all have to learn how to coexist with it.
Exactly, where to drive.
Yes.
We'll work that out.
Education.
All right, much more ahead here at 5, starting with Steve Garagiola. Hi, Steve.
Starting on Saturday, this stretch of I-75 will shut down for 2 years. That's a nightmare for some, but a dream come true for others. I've got the story coming up.
All right, Steve, and one of my favorite signs that spring is right around the corner. The big moving project happening today might help you feel a little warmer, too.
A horrifying morning in this house today. A fire rips through the first floor, trapping one of the roommates upstairs.
I still can't believe that happened. But, you know, it's real. It's like, oh, my God.
He was hoping he would find his friend outside. That is not the case. The story of this 48-year-old who died right inside.
New at 6.
A business that's been a local fixture for more than a half-century reduced to rubble by fire. At 6, the story behind Walsh's Auto and the family now facing a tough decision.
And the most dangerous intersections in Metro Detroit in winter weather. We'll show you where the most crashes are happening this time of year.
Tonight, a family living in Southwest Detroit devastated after a fire this morning killed a beloved man who was a father, an uncle, and more than that to so many people.
Alvaro Jimenez was asleep in the living room of this home when the fire broke out. And as Nick Monticelli reports, the fire was so intense, his roommate just couldn't save him.
The fire inside of this home was intense and grew fast. You can see inside how almost the entire first floor is charred. And unfortunately, the man who died, Alvaro Jimenez, he was found right inside the front door.
It's hard. I mean, you wouldn't imagine to be right here.
Nestor Jimenez and the rest of his family will be in shock for days after Alvaro Jimenez, who is their uncle, brother, father, and more, died in this fire early this morning.
He used to laugh about everything, you know. He's a good guy.
A good guy that passed in a horrific situation, shown best by the aftermath inside. The fire started around 3 a.m. Chris Kazertsky owns this home. Jimenez was his roommate for the last 2 years. He says he tried going downstairs when he smelled the smoke.
You couldn't, if you wanted to. Not by the stairway, you know.
Instead, he jumped out of his second-floor bedroom window. He was hoping Jimenez was outside too, but he passed, likely in his sleep.
I still can't believe that happened. But, you know, it's real. It's like, oh, my God.
Detroit arson investigators say this is an accident. Either a cigarette or a space heater could be to blame, especially since their home had no electricity. They were getting power for their home from the neighbors.
The house next door, they would pass some electricity by cable.
Regardless of how it happened, Kazertsky has to repair his home in a cloud of guilt.
On a way, I am lucky. On a way, I'm not, right? Because he's gone. But, I mean, you can repaint the house, refinish this and that, but he'll never be back, you know.
Next, the Jimenez family is trying to determine what to do. Alvaro was born in Mexico. They're not sure if they should bury him there or here in the U.S. On Detroit Southwest side, Nick Monticelli, Local 4.
Nick, and the American Red Cross is helping Chris with a place to stay, clothes, as well as other necessities.
This may qualify as breaking news, what we saw earlier. This was the scene.
Beautiful.
Ben Bailey, after what seems like an eternity, that is the nearest star to our planet, the sun.
We all felt like groundhogs today, didn't we?
I know. However, if I can now fast forward to right now, that's what it looks like now from our Windsor sky.
I want to go back to that other one.
Didn't last. It was just a little bit of a sorbet.
Well, yeah. And, I mean, it happened.
Just like that, yeah.
But we will get the sun back. It's not going to go in hiding for a while.
Good.
But we do have to get through another commute with these snow showers around. And with that sunshine, we inched up to 38 degrees for high temperatures today. Currently, though, now that the snow has gotten at least about half of us, that's dropped us back to freezing and below from Metro Airport back to the west. Still hanging on to the mid-30s here on the east side. And Fort Live radar was hinting there's maybe a possibility of some mix down here, river, but I think that most of this is going to fall in the form of snow. Visibilities have gone down to a half mile at Metro. You can see how widely scattered these snow squalls are. It's a mile visibility in Pontiac, about a quarter mile in Lapeer. Metro's come back to 6 right now, but there are places that don't have a problem, and that's because those snow squalls, not everywhere, they're very scattered across the area. We've got one sitting on top of Detroit, as you saw our view from Windsor. There's a little bit of a break, and then another one coming in here around US 23 heading towards 275. So really, it's some of our more populated highways as we get into the evening commute that are going to be impacted the most by these snow squalls. And there you see them just like popcorn all over southeast Michigan. And we've got more to go on the west side of the state. However, as a cold front starts moving in from the south, that's going to start squeezing most of this moisture down to our south zone once we get towards 9-10 o'clock tonight. So anything that's still around by that point should be confined to Lenawee and Monroe County. And then eventually, as that cold front comes through, that'll dry us out. But that cold air is going to be more than apparent over the next several days. In fact, high pressure will settle in. So tomorrow we'll mix up the clouds with the sunshine. Could see a flurry around in spots mainly south of the city tomorrow, but generally dry conditions until we get towards the end of the weekend. So with that high pressure in control, we think Woody is going to see his shadow, or her shadow, I should say, at the Howell Nature Center. It's at 8:15 tomorrow. That means 6 more weeks of winter as the sun finally comes out just in time for Groundhog Day. 18 tonight, snow showers on their way out. West winds will be at 10 to 15 miles an hour. So it's going to be a blustery night tonight. And high temperatures, that's what we're going to look at here. High temperatures in our 4-zone forecast, only getting into the 20s tomorrow. 25 in the city, similar numbers across the metro zone, maybe as warm as 26 in Lambertville and Luna Pier in our south zone, and that's it. West zone's 22 to 24, and in our north zone tomorrow, 20s obviously here too. Just about 22 or 23 everywhere. If you want some warmer numbers, they'll be coming at the end of the forecast. We'll be back above freezing by Sunday, get close to 40 degrees by Tuesday. And of course, as the warm air comes in, sunshine goes bye-bye. We can't seem to get it all
in sync
together. But we'll be watching these snow squalls the rest of the day.
Okay, thanks, man.
Al Roker, your friend and colleague in meteorology, hitting the road once again for Rokerthon 2017. Now, previously he completed a 34-hour weather broadcast when he visited all 50 states in 1 week. This time, college campuses across the country. And to get Al to visit your campus, send him a video showing your school spirit. In fact, we put the entry form at clickondetroit.com. So Kim is sending in South Carolina.
Yeah.
I'm sending in Kansas. Ben was going to send in Missouri, but I believe they're only accepting accredited institutions.
Oh, that was low.
Not correspondence.
I'm not even over there.
Right. Let's head over to Dr. McGeorge.
Well, are you paying more attention to your financial health than your heart health? Coming up, a simple quiz that could help reduce your risk of the #1 killer.
All right, Doc, but first, a Michigan sheriff says it's one of the most gruesome crimes he's ever seen. What a husband and wife are now charged with doing to one of their own parents. That's next. An up north couple is now charged with murder after being accused of torturing and killing the wife's 54-year-old father. Brian and Jessica DeGroot were arrested after Michael Brandt was found stabbed to death at his Springfield Township home. Investigators say Brian DeGroot killed him and then his wife helped him clean up the crime scene. The two are now being held on $10 million bonds.
A 16-year-old recovering tonight after being hit by a Jeep while riding his bike in Roseville. This happened late last night at Groesbeck and Hayes. The driver involved did stop. The teen was hospitalized and in fact was unable to speak for a while, but police later were able to identify him, and when they were able to get a hold of his family. He is, though, still in serious condition at this hour. Everyone fortunately okay after a semi-truck caught fire this morning on I-96.
The semi caught fire near westbound 96 in Middle Belt. Crews worked to clear the road all morning, finally opening up the right 2 lanes just before noon. At this point, it's unclear how the fire started, but no injuries were reported, so that's good news. And good news for baseball fans as spring training is right around the corner.
Clubhouse staff started loading up the team's moving truck today. Yes, take pause. Don't forget pause. Taking the Tigers to head to the Tiger Spring home in Lakeland, Florida. The preseason will officially begin February 14th, Valentine's Day. Pitchers and catchers report with their first spring training game taking place on February 23rd.
It's amazing how much equipment that they take down there.
Doing it every year.
Every year.
Yeah,
like tractor trailer loads. They should have me drive one. Maybe I'll sign
Absolutely.
up for that.
Yeah. Now I'm feeling the series coming on. I like it.
We'll be back.
New at 5:30.
Now that right there is called a media scrum. Jim Harbaugh still talking to everyone about the signing of the stars. We'll have details coming up.
To friend or not to friend? That really is the question. What the experts say you should do if your boss sends you a friend request on social media.
Starting on Saturday, this stretch of I-75 will shut down for 2 years. That's a nightmare for some, but a dream come true for others.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5:30 starts now.
Preparing for the pain, just 3 days away from southbound I-75 shutting down for 2 years, but it is not all bad news. Good evening. Come Saturday morning, southbound I-75 will close for 2 years to rebuild the Rouge River Bridge.
It's like a long time, but it's a big project, $200 million worth of project, and it'll shut down the southbound lanes from Detroit to downriver. Our Steve Garagiola reports it's a good news, bad news story. Of course, depends on who you talk to. Steve?
The I-75 Rouge River Bridge project is not seen as good news for many commuters who live downriver.
It's going to be very inconvenient. I mean, that's a long time, and most of that road, I think, is still in great shape.
If you can't use southbound 75, what do? Let's look at the big picture. Luckily, I keep all of my kids' arts and crafts supplies in my desk at work. The bottom line is, you don't have too many options. The plan is for commuter traffic to use Fort Street as a detour. That puts a lot of extra traffic on Fort Street. Good news for a small business like Harry's Coney Island.
It's going to be like Manhattan in Lincoln Park, Michigan, bumper to bumper.
Good news for a shop like Flowers by Lob.
And from what I understand, it will be mostly cars because they're going to route the trucking off of either 275 or 94, that way.
You are correct, Amy. MDOT wants truckers to take 96 to 275 that eventually hooks back up with 75. But that's about a 30-mile detour. The concern is that many truckers will take Fort Street as well, making one big traffic jam.
It's going to be a terrible burden for everybody who lives in this area, and I don't know why it should be shut down for 2 years.
Well, the answer to that is MDOT says the project will go faster, it will be safer, it'll be more efficient, and in the end, it will cost less, and we can only hope it will go as smoothly as traffic is moving down there. Guys, back to you.
I very much admire the Garagiola diorama you have in front of you. That's a great look. But I mentioned southbound lanes, and that's what you were showing us there as well. What about the northbound side of I-75?
Well, there's been a lot of question what's happening on the northbound side. There was some talk initially about two-way traffic to keep it moving in that area. That's not going to be the case. Northbound will be open through this project, but only northbound. The southbound side will be closed completely.
So 2 different plans of attack, depending on your daily drive then. All right, Steve. Karen?
Over here in the weather pod with Ben, and it's not a lot, but the snow does keep coming, which is going to make driving this evening a little tricky.
It is definitely going to be a little bit on the tricky side because those visibilities are going to drop very quickly from one spot to the next, and you can see on our conditions map here, some spots are seeing the snow and others are not. In fact, Metro Airport, Pontiac, and Points East pretty much have the snow showers. Ann Arbor right now reporting dry conditions after already 2 of those squalls have run through there. And now Woody's getting ready for a big day tomorrow under cloudy skies. Notice that we do have those 2 bands, or I should say 2 batches of snow, one exiting the city right now and the other one just now starting to pull out of Ann Arbor towards Ypsi and moving into 275. And look at how dark those colors here on 4 Live radar indicating how intense the snowfall is. So watch out for the visibility visibility reductions there, and we've still got more to go here on the west side of the state. We'll talk about where that ends up and where the rest of our forecast goes from here in just a few minutes, guys.
Across Michigan tonight, we're following stories from Galesburg and from the state capitol in Lansing.
Start this roundup, though, in Saginaw, which is where a 17-year-old is fighting for his life after a shooting. Deputies found the victim shot Tuesday evening in a car with 4 other people near the Saginaw County Sheriff's Office on South Harrison and Cass. He was driven to the location after being shot in the area of Lyons, south of Mason Street in Saginaw. Teen was taken to the hospital and is in critical condition right now. It's unclear whether police have any suspects in custody at the moment. Michigan State Police, though, tell us they are assisting with the investigation.
In Galesburg, near Kalamazoo, police are asking for the public's help in finding a Boy Scouts trailer that was stolen. Here is a photograph of the trailer. It belongs to the Galesburg Boy Scout Troop 265. Police said it was stolen Tuesday from the Scoutmaster's driveway sometime between 8:30 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon. A neighbor says he saw it being pulled by a white or light gray pickup truck. The trailer's Michigan license number is on your screen. Anyone with information is asked to call the Kalamazoo County Sheriff's Office. DTE Energy customers can expect to see a rise in their electricity bills.
And starting very soon, because state regulators have authorized DTE Energy to increase electricity rates by 4%. That's after the Public Service Commission approved a $184 million annual rate hike on Tuesday. This increase goes into effect next Tuesday. DTE says it's going to use the money to improve its power distribution infrastructure in an effort to decrease the likelihood of power outages. To good health we go. February is Heart Month, and heart disease remains the #1 killer of both men and women.
Tonight, a new study finds Americans still have a lot to learn when it comes to our personal risk factors. Dr. Rick McGeorge is here to explain more on that.
That's exactly it, Karen and Devin. You know, here's a question for you. Do you know what your bank balance is? Well, you probably do. But what about your blood pressure, maybe your cholesterol level, or your waist size? If those numbers don't come as quickly as the first question, that's a problem. We work hard to manage our financial health, balancing checking accounts, even saving for the future in a 401k. But how much attention are you paying to your heart health? A new Cleveland Clinic survey of 1,000 adults finds while nearly half know their bank account balance, 38% know their blood pressure numbers, 18% are aware of their body mass index, and just 12% know their level of LDL or bad cholesterol. Experts warn ignorance is not bliss.
If you can keep all those numbers in a normal range, your chances of getting heart disease are very, very low.
Your doctor's office can help you learn all of those numbers and improve them if needed. Cardiologists also recommend monitoring blood pressure at home.
You get a good brand name blood pressure cuff and use it according to directions, you're going to get generally within 5 points of what your doctor is going to get in their office.
There are several proven ways to prevent heart disease. Exercise most days, manage stress levels, quit smoking, and eat plenty of fresh fruit, vegetables, whole grains, fish, and heart-healthy fats like nuts and avocados. Now, your waist size also matters, and that's something you can measure at home. Having a waist in general more than 35 inches for women or 40 inches for men puts you at a much higher risk for heart problems and other health issues.
Cholesterol, how often do you have to get that checked?
Well, you should get it checked every few years, actually.
Okay.
So it's not something, unless you are under active management.
Okay.
Yeah. But I was surprised that so few people knew their bank account.
Yeah,
Actually,
exactly.
going back to the other numbers.
I know. I thought, well, you know, I have some idea of how much money I have.
A general idea
yeah.
would be good, yeah.
Who knows?
Thank you, Doc.
The hype is building in Houston, of course. Patriots and Falcons working through their final preparations while crews put their final touches on the Super Bowl city itself. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell says they expect a record number of people will be a part of Super Bowl week during his annual Super Bowl address.
You can feel the enthusiasm. You can feel the way we're being embraced here in this community.
And we also learned today that President George H.W. Bush and his wife Barbara, of course, both recently out of the hospital, but they are going to flip the coin for Super Bowl 51.
And it's going to be tails. Mark my words. Mark my words. All right, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter all are new ways to be social and keep up friendships. But these new platforms are also creating some new pitfalls, especially with work. Our Sandra Ali shows us what you can do when you get a friend request from your boss.
Act like I didn't get it. I would definitely pretend that I do not get on Facebook that often. I would decline the invitation.
Safe, but sometimes not interacting with the boss means missing opportunities to sell yourself. Pam Moore is ranked by Forbes magazine as one of the country's top social media experts. She says when it comes to your boss and social media, there's no right or wrong way to do it.
But I would take a look around and see, what is everybody else doing? Is if you're new to a company, is everybody else friends with the boss? Are they engaging with the CEO of the company?
What you don't want to do is fire your boss on Facebook. Once you let the boss in, blocking him or her is a bad idea.
We're friends with most of our employees. Now, if they were to go unfriend me all of a sudden, I would wonder, why did they unfriend me? Right? Or why did they block me? What are you hiding?
Instead, limit the posts your boss can see. Facebook now has settings which let you put followers in groups of close friends, acquaintances, or restricted. Your boss should be restricted. Other friends that might need a special setting, maybe an old boyfriend or girlfriend, definitely an underage child.
I will only connect to my son's friends if I have met them in real life.
The bottom line, it only takes a moment with your fingertips to make that lasting impression.
Sandra Ali, Local 4.
Sandra Ali, who we wish all good things for, home right now taking care of
new twins.
I want to go back to why are you so certain that it'll be tails on the coin toss?
It's just a weird thing. Every so often I get a feeling. And it came to me yesterday.
That's your vibe?
Yeah, and I'm really pretty correct on this.
Would you say you're right about 50% of the time?
No, it's a trend. My husband asks, not that we do any kind of betting. No, I would never do such a thing, but
purposes only.
Get back with me.
All right, there's the Drew tip for Super Bowl Sunday. Tails. Hooters is known, of course, for two things: chicken wings and its female servers.
Yes, well, one of those things actually changing. New tonight, why the chain is hiring more men to work in their restaurants. Jamie.
Jim Harbaugh may have landed the best recruiting class ever at Michigan, and he's feeling pretty good.
It's a very dynamic group, wonderful guys.
More from all of the hoopla of signing with the Stars in Ann Arbor.
All right, Jamie, but first a big update, the story of the bobcat that went missing from the National Zoo in Washington. Next.
Courtney was a healthy young mom, an athlete, and she nearly died from a heart attack.
About 20 minutes after I got discharged, I went into full cardiac arrest at my neighbor's house.
I'm Dr. Frank McGeorge. Tomorrow at 5, the red flag even the doctors missed, and the life-saving message Courtney wants everyone to hear.
Jeopardy! New at 6.
Newly released video showing an assault on a Meijer employee. At 6, the bizarre set of circumstances leading up to the attack.
Plus, we've known that cigarettes are bad for heart health, but what about e-cigarettes? The new research at 6 in Good Health.
We have got breaking news that we're following from Detroit's west side. We've got brand new video from the intersection of Tireman and Central, and that is where those are live wires that are down on a semi. The driver, we're happy to report, is out of the rig and safe and sound, but the pole and the wires are down. DTE out there working to shut off the power, remove the wires, and make the repairs. That's obviously most likely going to mean some outages in and around that area. Also, if you're out and about, or going to be out and about, best to avoid the area. We'll keep monitoring the situation and keep you advised.
Well, after being missing for 2 days, the National Zoo has announced they found their missing bobcat. The female cat, known as Ollie, was discovered missing from her enclosure Monday morning in Washington, D.C. Ollie was found just after 4 o'clock this afternoon on the property. She was spotted near the zoo's birdhouse, and now she's back in her enclosure.
It's gone from a relatively low-key event for only the most hardcore fans to an all-out spectacle. Today is National Signing Day. No one doing it bigger than the University of Michigan with their signing of the Stars event. Jamie Edmonds in Ann Arbor following it for us. And Jamie, it has become a serious spectacle.
Well, you could say that again, sure. There was a lot of hoopla here at Chrysler Center in Ann Arbor, but what else is new when you're talking about Jim Harbaugh? But what he's doing is working. He just got the 5th best recruiting class in the country, and today was a celebration. A whole lot of people piled into Chrysler Center today to see the future of the Maize and Blue.
Just a great opportunity just to be here and support my team and show my love for Michigan.
Signees who could make the trip or who already are taking classes here came out to much fanfare, sporting those new Jumpman shoes and khakis made popular by their new coach.
The Jordan brand is big, it's sweet.
The University of Michigan only ones that has these, so it's very nice.
It's the second annual signing of the Stars. Missing this year, that star power of last year, like Brady or Jeter.
It was an event. It was an event that people talked about. This year, okay, they did that. Now they're like, let's look inward into our Michigan family.
But this was by no means subdued. There were lights, cameras, 2 Sklar brothers. These signees say all of this hoopla makes a difference to high school seniors.
Kids look at, they want to be in the latest gear. They want to be in the coolest colors. So that definitely plays a huge factor in recruiting.
But the biggest draw for the kids and those fans,
who's got it better than us? No!
Jim Harbaugh, who's created quite a buzz in just 2 seasons.
There's no better word in the English language to me than family, and this is this family of ours, the University of Michigan.
Compete, coach! Compete!
I just love that. That's Ambry Thomas, a corner from King. You can feel the love between player and coach. Now, one thing here, the team is going to Italy in April. Well, Jim Harbaugh talked today about he's got 5 years of plans. They want to go to Israel, New Zealand, London. The guy's always thinking. Live in Ann Arbor, Jamie Edmonds, Local 4.
I hope you're thinking, have you put in for the Rome trip yet?
Yes, I'd like to go to Rome. I've been to New Zealand. I'll go to Israel.
There you go. Follow all of them. That's what journalism's all about. We got to follow them, Bernie.